Okay, today we have a 2010 Mercedes E-Class. This is a W212 chassis. Customer has brought this into us on recovery today. A little bit unnecessary to do so, but he done so without calling us first, unfortunately. Could have come out to him to sort this one out. But give you an example, this vehicle, customer reported that when he puts the key in the ignition, nothing really happens. So just to show you the key here, there you go, put in the ignition. So normally when you put the key in the ignition, you'd hear the steering lock unlock itself, but as you can see, no noise. So when you turn the key, look at that, ignition is absolutely dead. So just before taking this video, we checked the voltage on the car. The voltage was nice and strong at 12.4 volts. Is actually quite a common issue. So we're going to strip down the vehicle now, explain to you what's happened, and the remedy in order to solve it. So one of our technicians has kindly stripped, as you can see, the steering column is loose. Ran some diagnostics a little bit earlier, found that the steering lock mechanism not to be working properly. That's how the item looks. Takes a bit of disassembly to remove. So normally, so say for example I put the key in, I put the key now, that mechanism should work. So remove the key again, put the key back in, obviously nothing is happening. So now what we're going to do is we're going to remove this mechanism and replace it with a new one, and then program it to the vehicle, and then show you the result. So one of my colleagues has kindly come and removed the old unit, which has somehow slipped behind the seat here. That's the old unit. Replace it with a new unit, as you can see here, nice and new, and programmed it to the vehicle. I mean, these are coded to the chassis and they have to be synchronized with the engine ECU, otherwise they don't work. And now, if you can see, got the key, put the key in the ignition, you can hear a mechanical noise. Don't know if you've seen that, but at the bottom of the steering lock mechanism, so just around here, there we go, the lock mechanism ejects a bit of metal which actually acts as a lock on the vehicle. So when I put the key in, you know, the mechanism is retracted, remove the key and it's ejected. So now at least we know that the steering lock mechanism has been sorted. Just to show you the result of that, so you get back in the vehicle, slide it forward, there we go, put the key in the ignition. So when I put it to the first setting, you can see that the bonnet is showing open. If you put it to this second position, you go, all the lights on the dash. Now this being a manual car, I have to push the clutch in, and now I can start the vehicle. So as you can see, the problem has been solved. Took us just over probably an hour and a half. So turn off the ignition. So quite a simple repair in terms of the way it looks. Unfortunately, if this was done by Mercedes, you'd have to wait. I mean, the ignition switches, sorry, not the ignition switches, the steering lock mechanisms are normally in stock, which is a good thing. But in order to program them to the vehicle, you need something called a green key. So even the Mercedes dealerships, they won't have those to hand. They'd have to order them in specifically for the chassis number of the car. So that can take several days to happen. Then you've got obviously recovering the vehicle to a Mercedes main dealer, which is very expensive to do, especially if you have an automatic car, because the car will be stuck in park. You won't be able actually to put it into neutral either, so they'd have to lift the vehicle rather than the normal way of towing. So you know, that kind of process, you've got the vehicle off the road for a week, you have to pay a lot of money for recovery, and obviously the job will be quite expensive for Mercedes as well. We can actually do this particular job wherever the vehicle is. We can do it same day as well. We have, you know, quite superior equipment which lets us bypass the green key, and yeah, pretty much, you know, as you've seen, the whole job, we've probably turned it around in, as I said, about an hour and a half. Obviously we still have to put a few things back on this vehicle. It's not going to take more than 15 minutes, and you know, save someone quite a lot of money. Convenience is very important. So like I said, if you have this particular issue, you're stuck with your vehicle wherever it might be, give us a call. We'll be happy to come out to you. Even if you just wanted to call for, you know, you've got a few questions regarding the process or regarding pricing, you know, just give us a shout. We'll be happy to help. You can feel free to leave some comments on the video itself. We'll be happy to respond on there as well. But yeah, quite a common issue now on the W212 chassis. We're probably seeing these several times a week, getting more common as vehicles are getting older. So yeah, obviously it doesn't just affect this chassis, W211, older models as well, Sprinters. You know, if you have this problem, just give us a shout. OGS Mechanics has mobile units specialised in replacing lost, broken or stolen car keys. Even if your vehicle is locked or does not want to start, we can resolve the problem for you. Give us a call on 0208 346 7575. That's 0208 346 7575.